It's wild how lawmakers will pass laws they know will get struck down by the Supreme Court. It just shows how much money they're actually willing to waste on BS, like Louisiana passing a law requiring the Ten Commandments to be displayed in every single school classroom. A law like this is going to get struck down by the Supreme Court for being unconstitutional, since being a public school, they're representatives of the government, and the government cannot endorse one religion over the other or non-religion over religion. So this is going to get struck down and fast.
So Louisiana, as of tonight, is now the first state to require the Ten Commandments to be displayed in every public school classroom in the state after the governor signed this controversial bill into law. And it gets pretty specific, saying the commandments have to be on a poster-sized display with font that's easy to read. The governor seems to be spoiling for the legal fight here, and it looks like he will get it, with a bunch of civil liberties groups, including the ACLU, saying in just the last couple of hours, wait a second, this is not constitutional, and that they're planning to sue. Vaughn Hilliard is joining us now with more.
Right, Hallie. Look, we have seen some of these conservative states go and challenge what has previously been decided by the U.S. Supreme Court. In this situation, back in 1980, the U.S. Supreme Court, they ruled against a Kentucky measure that would have required public classrooms to have the Ten Commandments inside of the classrooms. And yet 45 years have passed. It is a different Supreme Court with a conservative lean to it. And the conservative legislature and Republican Governor Landry, who signed this measure into law, made the conscious decision that they're going to go and try to challenge that. Now, the ACLU.
Well, if they challenge the precedent or the First Amendment in court and win, it means any state can put up any religious stuff in their classrooms, even if it's like about Satanism, and said states cannot do anything about it, which will end up being hilarious. I want to see the Satanic Church uh, fight to have satanic verses put up in the classroom if they're going to have the Ten Commandments put up in the classroom.
To note, and other organizations have already indicated that they intend to file a lawsuit in which they say, in part, quote, the law violates the separation of church and state and is blatantly unconstitutional. Politicians have no business imposing their preferred religious doctrine on students and families in public schools. So we've.
And this this is in a way funny, because right-wingers constantly claim to be about freedom, and they want to force people to be Christian. So much about being for freedoms as well as being for small government, because if you're going to use the government to force everybody to be Christian, you're definitely not for a small government, you're for Big Brother.
We've seen other Republican states consider this type of measure here, but they haven't gone forward with it, knowing that it would face a legal lawsuit. But for now, in the state of Louisiana, these public classrooms from kindergarten all the way through universities are going to be required to have a poster-sized version of the Ten Commandments posted inside of these classrooms.